Now see, in modified Euler's method again, you'll be given a differential equation of this kind. dy by dx is equal to some function of x comma y. And along with this, you'll be given an initial condition also. Let us say y at x naught is y naught. Now we are trying to solve this differential equation, not explicitly, but we are trying to find out the solution of this differential equation at a point x1, or sometimes, we may calculate the solution at x2. So when you are trying to find out the solution at multiple points, one point we must remember always, all these 3 points, x0 to x1 or x1 to x2, they must be equidistant, right? Whatever is the distance between x1 and x0 you have, the same distance must be there even between what you call x1 and x2, right? Now that's the story here. And understand, now to solve this differential equation, I'm just explaining you the geometrical idea behind this. See what we are trying to do. When you are given a differential equation of this kind, let us say this differential equation has some solution, and this graph, the yellow colored graph, is the solution graph, right? I'm taking it as y of x. Solution of that differential equation is, y of x. So this is the graph of y of x. Now see, when you know the graph of y of x here, you are given a point here, you see y at x naught is equals to y naught. So let us say this point on the graph is x naught. So this is x naught, and now this point is actually on the graph. So this is the point x naught comma y naught. Now see, as I told you already, modified Euler's method is actually an iterative method. So this is an iterative method. You can recall bisection method, Newton-Raphson method. There are also iterative methods. Iterative methods in the sense, we'll just begin with some initial approximation, and will in a repetitive procedure, we'll try to refine the initial approximation after some 5 steps or 6 steps, depending on the situation, depending on the accuracy you're expecting, we'll continue the problem, right? But in each iteration, in each repetition, we'll follow the same procedure. Like, if you take bisection method, we'll find out an initial interval first of all, and then we'll calculate the middle point of this. Depending on the function value of this middle point, we'll choose the next interval. And after selecting the next interval, the procedure is quite same again. So this process will be repeated until we get the desired solution. Whereas in Newton-Raphson method, you see, we'll just start with some initial approximation. And then you see, we follow this idea, xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So this is the formula we use repeatedly until we get the solution with the desired accuracy, right? So that's how we are calling these methods as iterative methods, right? Now, similarly, even this modified Euler's method is also an iterative method. So to calculate, let us say you are calculating y at x1. To calculate only y at x1, we need to repeat certain procedure for at least for 3 or 4 iterations, depending on the situation anyway, right? We cannot say exactly we'll repeat it for only this many number of times. Now see, when you have such, when you are trying to calculate what you call this y at x1, we'll just proceed repeatedly. But before any repetition, we must have some initial approximation, So to get that initial approximation, we'll take the value which you got from Euler's formula, right? So that's how I'm defining it like this. You see, if you recall the formula, see, for example, if I take this y at x1 as some y1, so our interest is to calculate y1. So from Euler's formula, as we discussed yesterday, let us say y1 is equals to, I hope you remember this, y naught plus h into f of x naught y naught. Right, so this is the value which you got from Euler's formula as we discussed yesterday. Now I'm taking this particular value which you got from Euler's formula as initial approximation. So I'm taking this as initial approximation to y1, right? Just to calculate y at x1 itself, just to calculate y1 itself, I'm just repeating certain procedure for multiple times. That's how I'm calling it as iterative method. And after some iterations, we'll finalize the value of this y1. Now this value, whatever you got from Euler's method, I'm taking it as initial approximation. Now I need to refine this initial approximation like this. Let us say, how you got this initial approximation, recall it. When you know this point, what we have done in Euler's formula, I'm just repeating it. When you know this particular graph, this is the solution graph, as you know. And you know a point on this particular graph, which is x0, y0, as you're given in the initial condition. Now see what we have done. We have just drawn a tangent at this point, right? We have drawn a tangent at this point, and then you see this red colored line is the tangent. And when you approximate the original curve by this tangent line, right? You know, in Euler's method, we have actually approximated this original curve by this tangent line, and thereby you see, for example, if this is the line x is equals to x1. Now see, actually this is the solution you are expecting. Y at x1 is this. But since you have approximated the original graph by this red colored line, instead of considering this point, you know, you will take only this intersection point, right? So then this height, right? Height from what you call this red line to x-axis. This height is an approximation to the original solution at x1. And that's how you got this idea actually. Y1 is equals to y0 plus h into f of x0 y0, right? Now, see, we are trying to reach this particular solution, the original solution. We are trying to reach this, and you are here. So we need to move towards the exact solution like this, right? So now we are proceeding in a iterative procedure to reach the exact solution like this. Now understand, when you choose this as initial approximation, you know one approximation to y1, and it is this, right? You are here. What I'm trying to do here, you see, I'm just assuming this point is there on the graph. I'm just assuming, because it is an approximation to x1, I can assume that this point is there on the graph. What is this point actually now? Its x coordinate is x1 and the y coordinate is y1, initial approximation as we assumed here, right? So now I'm assuming this point is there on the graph. When I assume there it is on the graph, I can actually take a tangent there also. When I take a tangent, I can even calculate the slope of the function, slope of the tangent at this point. Now, if you calculate slope of the tangent, when I assume that this point is there in the graph, I can draw a tangent also there, right? So slope of the tangent at this point x1 comma y1 0. See how much it is? Slope can be calculated by differentiating the function, you know, already you are given what is dy by dx here. So the slope can be calculated from this function f of xy. And since you need it at exactly this point x1, y1, 0, I'm substituting x is equals to x1 and y is equal to y1, 0. So that the slope at this point will be, slope of the tangent at this point will be f of x1 comma y1, 0. Right, see what I'm trying to do now? Now already I have a slope at this point x0, y0. Of course, I have already drawn a tangent also. Then I'm just assuming this point is there in the graph, and thereby I'm calculating the slope of tangent at this point. The actually slope will be like this, but actually I'm not drawing a slope there. I'm not drawing a tangent there, but I'm only considering slope of the tangent, right? Now by considering slope of that, you see what I'm trying to do here. This is the interesting point here. I'll try to take the average of these two slopes. The first slope what I have is at x0, y0. And now I have calculated the slope of tangent at this point. I have now two different slopes, one at this point and one at this point. I'll then take the average of these two. What is that average? You see, average is equals to, first slope is this. Average means we'll take 1 by 2, you know, sum of those two divided by 2. So 1 by 2 times first slope what I have is this, f of x0, y0. And the second slope which I got now is this, f of x1 comma y1, 0, y1 initial approximation. Now see, by taking the average slope, I'll just try to calculate, I'll try to draw a tangent with this average slope as the slope, and that too at this point x0, y0. Understand? I'm now trying to draw a tangent at this point x0, y0 with this average slope. Right? Earlier, we have drawn a tangent at x0, y0, but that with only actual slope, you know, which is at x0, y0, which is f of x0, y0, of course. Now with this much slope, we have drawn a tangent earlier when it was in Euler's method. We are now just upgrading it. We are just refining it. Now I'm just taking the average of these two slopes. Now with this slope, I'm trying to take a tangent at the same point x0, y0. Likely, because it is the average of those two, we'll get a tangent like this, you see. since the tangent is at x0, y0 only, it will be something like this. And see, when it is a tangent line, definitely this point, this tangent line, or else this intersection point is now this. So this intersection point is going towards the actual, what you call root, actual solution. Now see, let us just write what is the intersection point here, or else the tangent line with this slope. Tangent line at the point x0, y0 with slope, with average slope. We have drawn the slope, average slope of these two, you see. With that slope, I'm now trying to take a tangent line. So what it may be, you see, y minus y0 is equals to, slope is this, right? 1/2 into f of x0, y0 plus f of x1, comma y1, 0. This is all slope multiplied by x minus x0, right? Now see, this is the tangent line which you have drawn at x0, y0. And that tangent line is intersecting this line x is equal to x1 at this point. Now see, I'm taking this intersection point as now my first approximation, right? You have started with some initial approximation, you see. Initial approximation is here on the red colored line. And now I'm taking this new intersection point as my first approximation. So when it is first approximation, I can take it as the line is still x is equal to x1 only, right? So that the x coordinate is x1 only. But now the y coordinate, I'm taking it as y1 first approximation. So let us substitute. Now, if you substitute x is equals to x1 in this, so what happens to you? What happens to this? You see, y is equals to, I'm sending this y0 to the other side. Y0 plus, I'm writing all this as it is, 1/2 times f of x0, comma y0 plus f of x1, comma y1, 0 initially. And now here I'm substituting x is equals to x1, so that I'll get this as x1 minus x0. Understand this carefully. We know already, we have assumed already distance between x0 and x1 as h. That then only we got this h here. The same h we need to continue. So this becomes simply y0 plus h into all this. So that I can write it like this, y is equal to y0 plus h/2 times this average. I mean this sum. And that value, I'm taking it as y1 first approximation, right? So therefore, I'm writing here, you see, therefore, y1 first approximation is equals to y0 plus h/2 times f of x0, y0 plus f of x1, comma y1 first approximation. Sorry, y1 initial approximation. So like this, we got only first approximation. Now we are trying to refine it, right? We have done only one iteration. And next, you see what we are trying to do here. Now we got a new approximation value, right? What it is? x1, comma y1 first approximation. This is x1, comma y1 first approximation now, this point. Now see, this point is x1, comma y1 first approximation. Now see what I'll do. I'll just repeat the same procedure. What I have done earlier, I've just calculated the average slope of function value at, average slope like this, you see, slope at x0, y0 and slope at the recent approximation. Now the recent approximation is x1, comma y1 first approximation. Now I'll try to take average slope of these 2 points, slope at x0, y0 and slope at x1, y1 first approximation. So what will be that slope? You see, you can expect it. It is 1/2 times f of x0, y0 plus f of x1, comma y1 first approximation. With this new point, at this new point, we are calculating the slope again. And then I'll take the what you call average of slopes at x0, y0 and slope at what you call x1, comma y1 first approximation. After calculating the slope, average slope like this, again, I'll try to draw a tangent. Let us say average slope is the average slope for the next one. For the next point, it will be like this, 1/2 times f of x0, y0 plus f of x1, comma y1 first approximation. See, this is the average slope in that case. Now with this average slope, if you draw a tangent, the tangent is again at this point x0, y0 only. So that tangent will be something like this. And now see, the intersection point is more closer to the exact solution. Like this, will improve the solution. Then you see, if you draw a tangent with this slope, and if you take that intersection, if you substitute then x is equals to x1, you will get the second approximation to y1 will be like this. Y1 second approximation is y0 plus h by 2 times f of x0 y0 plus f of x1 comma y1 first approximation this time. Right? You can compare these two. You see y1 first approximation and y1 second approximation. The only difference, you will get it in the last point. Now, similarly, if you calculate y1 third approximation, you can just expect it is y0 plus h by 2 times. Again, we are taking the average slope, which is f of x0 y0 plus f of x1 y1 second approximation. Always to calculate the current approximation, we'll use the previous approximation here. So if you generalize this idea, we'll get y1 nth approximation as, let me take it as n plus 1th approximation so that the things will be easy to us. Now, when it is y1 n plus 1th approximation, we'll get y0 plus h by 2 times, here it is f of x0 y0 only, plus here we'll take it as f of x1 and the previous approximation to this, which is nth approximation. Now see, this formula we use iteratively to calculate different approximations to only y1. And see, we'll continue these repetitions until we get our desired accuracy. You may be interested in a 3 decimal accuracy or a 4 decimal accuracy. Depending on the accuracy you are interested in, we'll proceed this process for a number of times, maybe for 4 times, for 5 times, as you are interested. And then whatever the value you got in the last approximation, that is the value for y1. Now you see, as I've written in the question, I'm interested not only in y1 but also in y2, right? y8 x2 is y2. If you are interested to calculate y2 also, you see the same procedure we extend for what you call x1 comma y1. Means what you have done here, you see, we got initial approximation to y1 by taking a tangent at x0 y0. And in fact, we have done all this procedure by taking tangents at x0 y0 only. Now, after getting y1, somehow you see, maybe if after some number of repetitions, we'll get certain value for y1. Then we'll just repeat the same process by taking tangents at x1 comma y1. Right? The process is quite same. You see, we have drawn here tangents at this point x0 y0. Now to calculate y at x2, to calculate y2, we just repeat the same procedure by taking tangents at the next point x1 comma y1. That's how you see, I'm not writing all those things, but you can just guess this. The only difference, wherever you have x0 y0, you will get x1 y1. So that's how you see, if you write the formula for y2 n plus 1th approximation will be, now see, x0 y0 will be replaced by x1 y1, right? So that here instead of y0, you will get y1 plus h by 2 times. H remains the same because the distance between x0 x1 and x1 and x2, these two remain same. They are simply h only. So this h remains as it is. But here we calculate slope at the point x1 comma y1, and the next approximation, you will get certain initial approximation, which is f of x2 comma y2 nth approximation. Right? When it is first approximation, here we'll substitute the initial approximation. And then what is initial approximation to y2 here? We'll get this from, again, Euler's formula only, which is y1 plus h into f of x1 comma y1. Right? Always to calculate the initial approximation, we use what you call Euler's formula. But to refine it, we'll use what you call modified Euler's formula like this. Right? So this is how we can actually find out solutions to differential equations at different points using what you call modified Euler's method. Now let us take a question. And right, so the question is this: y dash is equals to y plus e power x, and the initial condition you are given is y of 0 is equals to 0. And see, the question is this: understand, you are asked to find the solution at x is equal to 0.2 and x is equal to 0.4. Look at the values carefully. The condition what you are given is this: y at 0 is equals to 0. Usually we take this condition similar to this, you see y at x naught is equals to y naught. If you compare these two, you can understand the value at x naught is 0 and its corresponding function value y naught is also 0. So x naught and y naught both are zeros here, right, for this particular question. And see what are the other values where you are asked to find out the solution. One is at 0.2 and the other one is at 0.4. Look at the distance between these two values. If they are same, you can fix that equal distance as h. Okay. By chance, you see if this is 0.3 here, no, you cannot take equal distance as 0.1, but the minimal distance you will consider as h. Since the minimal distance here is 0.1, we'll take h as 0.1 and then we need to calculate the function value at 0.1 also then. But anyway, you are lucky. Here you are given the next point, the third point here as 0.4, so that we can take h as what you call 0.2 only, right? So that's most important, you need to remember. And what is f of xy here? Always one more thing here. Usually, in either in even yesterday's class also, we are writing this as dy by dx is equals to f of xy. Whether it is dy by dx or y dash, both are same, it is another notation of representing a derivative. So when you are given y dash, it is also nothing but what you call dy by dx only. So don't get confused. And now the question you are given is like this: y dash is equal to some function on the right side, f of x comma y. So that you see, looking at this function on the right hand side, we can write the function f of xy is y plus e to the power of x. Okay. Now that is the function what you are given. Now see how can we find out the solution, and you can observe x naught is 0. Corresponding to this, y naught is also 0 as they are given in the question. Now see the next point. You are asked to calculate the solution at 0.2. So I'm taking it as x1, and the other point what you are given is 0.4. You see actually 0.4. So I'm taking it as x2. Now see if you calculate the function value at x1, you can write it as y at x1 or you can say it as y1. So you are interested to calculate y1, and the similar way you are interested to calculate y at x2, and if you take it as y2. So this is your question. You are trying to calculate both y1 as well as what you call y2 here. Now see, to calculate the initial approximation, before that let me also write here, therefore h is equals to 0.2 as you understood already. Now see, to calculate the initial approximation to y1 means y at 0.2. To calculate the initial approximation to y1, I'm taking it from Euler's method. So from Euler's formula, y1 initial approximation is equals to, it is y naught plus h into f of x naught y naught. Right, so we are taking it like this. y1 zeroth approximation is equals to y naught plus this. Now see if you just substitute everything into this, see how much it is. Y naught is 0 plus h is 0.2 into f of x naught y naught. You see f of xy is this. Now in this function f of xy, we are substituting x is equals to x naught and y is equals to y naught. And what are those two? You see they are both zeros. So I'm just substituting y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0, nothing else. So it is then 0 plus e to the power of 0. Right. So then as we know, e power 0 is 1 and 1 plus 0 is also 1. 1 into 0.2 will get this as 0.2. So that the initial approximation to y1 is 0.2. Now if you recall what you call this modified Euler's formula, we can use that formula to calculate different approximation values to what you call y1. So from modified Euler's formula or method, anything is okay. We can calculate y1 n plus 1th approximation is equals to y naught plus, we'll take the average, you see, h by 2 times f of x naught y naught plus f of x1 comma y1 nth approximation. I'm just writing the generalized formula. Now So therefore, if you write y1 in initial approximation, we have already calculated. You see, y1 first approximation is equals to, it is y naught plus h by 2 times, I'm just writing for convenience, x naught y naught plus f of x1 comma y1 initial approximation. So this is equals to, I'm just substituting, you see, y naught is 0 plus h by 2, h is actually 0.2 by 2 into f of x naught y naught. You see, be careful in while substituting these things here. F of x naught y naught, you know, f of xy is here. X naught y naught means both are zeros. So here I'm substituting y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0 initially. So it is 0 plus e to the power of 0 plus, now we are calculating f of x1 comma y1 0. What is x1? X1 is 0.2. So you need to substitute x is equal to 0.2 and y1 0. y1 0 is also 0.2, you see. So now we need to substitute both x and y as 0.2 here in this function. So that we'll get it like this, 0.2 plus e to the power of 0.2. And this value, whatever you'll get here, that is the first approximation to what you call y1. I'm just using my calculator. So it is 0.1 times, it is 1, e power 0 is 1, and here I'm just writing this 0.2 plus e to the power of 0.2. So from my calculator, I got it as 1.4214. Right, so if I simplify this, 1.4214 plus 1 into 0.1. So I got it as 0.24214. Right, you can even take only up to 4 digits, 0.2421. Look at this. This is the first approximation to y1. Now let me calculate the second approximation to y1. y1 second approximation is equal to, it is again y naught plus h by 2 times f of x naught comma y naught plus f of x1 comma y1. Now first approximation. You see, in the previous iteration, we have substituted initial approximation here, right? Now in the second approximation, we are substituting first approximation. Now let us substitute everything into this again. It is 0 plus 0.2 by 2 into f of x naught y naught, the same thing, you know. So we'll just substitute them like this, 0 plus e to the power of 0 plus here, now this time y1 first approximation. Y1 first approximation, you know, we got it as 0.2421 plus e to the power of x1. X1 is again 0.2 only. Right, let us now simplify this. It is equals to, I'm just using my calculator again. So here this is anyway 0, not writing 0.2 by 2, it is 0.1 multiplied by, this is e power 0.1 plus, let us see how much we'll get here. Shift e to the power of 0.2 plus 0.2421. This multiplied, sorry, this plus 1, 2 point this into 0.1. Let's see, I got it as this, I got it as actually 1.4635, and after simplifying this, it is 0.2463. Right. Now see, you can just compare y1 first approximation and y1 second approximation now. As we are interested in getting at least 3 or 4 decimal accuracy, we need to see whether we got 4 digits same after the decimal point in 2 successive approximations. Look at y1 first approximation, y1 second approximation. Up to the second digit, we got them as same. We got same 2, 4 after the decimal point here. So we got only 2 decimal accuracy up to now. So let's continue for one more iteration and then we can see whether we get 3 decimal or 4 decimal accuracy. Now if you calculate y1 third approximation, y1 third approximation is equals to, it is y naught plus h by 2 times f of x naught comma y naught plus f of x1 comma y1 second approximation. Right now, let us substitute everything into this. Y naught is 0 and h is 0.2 by 2 plus x naught y naught means still they are zeros only. So 0 plus e to the power of 0 plus now this time y1 second approximation. You see how much you got? It is 0.2463. So I'm just writing that 0.2463 plus f of x1 is e to the power of 0.2. Right, see, let us simplify this. This is again 0.1 into 1 plus, I'm just using my calculator again, e to the power of 0.2 plus 0.2463. So I got it as 1.4677. And see if I simplify this into 0.1. See, I got it as 0.24677 is there. So I'm writing it as 68, right? So I got it like this. And now let us just compare this value with the second approximation. We got 0.2463 here, you see, and here we got it as 2.2468. So we got directly 3 decimal accuracy after completion of third approximation, third iteration. So let me just continue this for one more time so that we can probably will get what you call the 4 decimal accuracy also. So y1 fourth approximation, you can even stop here, not a problem, but I'm just continuing it for one more iteration. So it is then y naught, okay, y naught plus h by 2 into f of x naught y naught plus f of x1 y1 third approximation. So similarly, you can substitute everything. You see 0 plus 0.2 by 2 and here it is 0 plus e to the power of 0 plus the value which you got for x y1 third approximation is this 0.62468 plus e to the power of x1 is 0.2. Somebody is giving me the answer here. It is, yeah, you'll get this as same 0.2468. Since you got same, 4 digits after the decimal point are same here, we can just write, since we got 4 decimal accuracy here, we can conclude y1. So therefore y1 is equals to, y1 means y at 0.2 is equals to 0.2468. Right? Now see, we got half of the problem now. The question is to calculate solution at both 0.2 as well as 0.4. We got solution at only 0.2 now. So we need to repeat all this procedure again at 0.4 also. Right? Let me just write here. Now we got only y1. Now to calculate y at 0.4, which is y2, to calculate, let me just put a heading so that there will be no confusion. Now y2. Now see, again to calculate initial approximation to y2, I'm using what you call this Euler's formula. It is y2 initial approximation is equals to, we'll use that like this, you see, y1 plus h into f of x1 comma y1. Since it is at y2, since we are calculating y2, we'll use its previous values which are at x1, y1. Now, so this is equals to, see how much we got for y1, it is 0.2468 plus h into, h is actually, as we know, 0.2 only still, then f of x1 comma y1. So see, the function f of xy is this, y plus e power x. Now in this function, we need to substitute y is equal to y1 and x is equal to x1. And y1 is how much? It is 0.2468 plus e to the power of x1 is 0.2, I'm substituting 0.2 here. Right, so then this is equal to, if you use your calculator to simplify this, so it is e to the power of 0.2 plus 0.2468 closing the bracket here, into 0.2, then plus 0.2468. See, I'm getting this as 0.5404, right? Exactly. Now see, this is the initial approximation to y2. Now we need to refine this to calculate the final value for y2. And for that, as we know, we'll use what you call modified Euler's method. And the formula says, you see this one, y2 n plus 1th approximation is equals to, it is y1 plus h by 2 times. We now take the average slope, which is 1 set x1 y1 then we take it at x2 comma y2 nth approximation, right? So like this, we calculate what you call the average slope. Now, if you just calculate y2 first approximation, it is equals to y1 plus h by 2 times f of, I'm just writing the formula again, f of x1 y1 plus f of x2 comma y2 initial approximation, y2 0. See if you can substitute everything into this. Y1, how much you got? Y1 is 0.2468 plus h by 2 means 0.2 divided by 2. And f of x1, y1, you know, the same thing what you have substituted here. I'm just taking them in brackets. 0.2468 plus e to the power of 0.2 plus f of x2 comma y2 initial approximation. See how much you got initial approximation? I'm just substituting that 0.5404 plus e to the power of x2. x2 is 0.4. So it is 0.4. Right, let us simplify this and then we can substitute that here. I'm just using my calculator to calculate this. E power 0.2 plus 0.648 plus what it is 0.5404 plus e to the power of 0.4. Right, I'm just closing the bracket here. This multiplied by 0.1, then plus 0.2468. Yeah, so I got this as 0.5968. Right, understand, this is the first approximation to y2. We need to just repeat this procedure to calculate, other approximations. Right, so I leave this part to you. I just suggest you to continue for at least 2 more approximations. Anyway, you are looking for 4 decimal accuracy. Okay, so please continue this until you get 4 decimal accuracy.